We are back with another monthly wrap-up of some of the weird, bizarre, and even scary news to come out of Japan over the last month. So what happened over the last month or so? Let's take a look. Number 1. In a rather bizarre and disturbing case, a man in his 40s was found bleeding on the street in Gifu Prefecture on January 24th. A passerby reportedly found him lying on the ground around 7 AM and quickly called police. Somebody appears to have been stabbed, they reported, and police rushed the scene. When they asked the man what happened, he reportedly told them that a man with a knife cut me. The man was taken to the hospital and police continued to interview him there. But it was there that they discovered something honestly rather horrifying. The man finally revealed, "Actually, I stabbed myself. I'm terribly sorry." He wasn't a victim of random street violence, but in reality had done this to himself, and security camera footage from nearby seemed to confirm this too. As of making this video, police are still questioning the man to figure out his motives for doing such a thing. Number 2. A maid cafe in Gunma Prefecture made headlines last month for a rather interesting reason. Not for anything saucy or even inappropriate, but rather, it was the age of its employees that had people talking. You see, all the maids at Maid Cafe Shangri-La are over the age of 65. This maid cafe started specifically as a project to give elderly people something to do, and it's only open for 2 hours, 8 to 10 AM, on the first Saturday of each month. The name of the cafe is a neat pun, with maido meaning the underworld, but also sounding like maid. And the inside of the store continues that theme, inviting people to return once they are tired of the world of the living. The women working at the cafe have reported many repeat customers, and a flurry of compliments that constantly cheers them up. Not gonna lie, this is the type of news I like to hear. Number 3. I'm a big fan of furikake, that seasoning you can put on rice to give it all sorts of different flavors. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda intrigued by this month's weird food entry. Last December, shortly before Christmas, the National Depart Corporation announced that they would be taking reservations for Christmas cake furikake. Yes, you heard that right. Basically, if you've ever sat there looking at your plain rice and thought, "Man, I wish this tasted like a Christmas cake," well, they've got you covered. This furikake is made of biscuit, strawberry and mango meringue chips, and rich mascarpone cheese. It also comes with some cookies in various Christmas shapes, like stockings and trees. Now, in their defense, they at least suggest you add this to ice cream or toast, but not gonna lie, I kinda wanna try this with rice. You never know whether it's an abomination against humanity or surprisingly good until you try it firsthand, after all. Number 4. Sticking with food. Kind of. An interesting tweet went viral last month. Daffodils were mixed in the local vegetable corner in a terribly confusing way, and I was so scared that I had to tell the staff about it before leaving. This included a picture of said daffodils lined up next to daikons and some other greens. But why was this confusing and even scary? Well, daffodils are toxic, of course. Still, as is Twitter's way, the tweet soon got community noted. Yes, daffodils are indeed toxic, but only when you reach about 10 grams of them per 1 kilogram of body weight. Meaning a person of around 60 kilos would have to eat over 600 grams of straight daffodils before it would reach dangerous levels. Dangerous and delicious. But either way, the fact that toxic flowers ended up in the vegetable section caused much debate, with people wondering whether the staff themselves also confused them for either onions or leeks. After all, the sticker on them says, miscellaneous seasonal vegetables. No word on whether anyone actually ate them and got sick, but still a seemingly big mistake all around here. Number 5. In some truly horrifying news, it was reported that a man who was out jogging in Tokushima City on January 9th was suddenly attacked. Not by another person, but rather by a monkey. The man in his 30s was out on an early morning jog around 3:30 a.m. when he felt something suddenly grab his leg. Looking down, it was a monkey. I don't know about you, but that's probably the point where I start panicking. The man was able to kick the monkey off, but it then followed him for another 500 meters or so. Once it was sure that dominance was asserted, it then disappeared back into the trees. The man was physically unharmed, but I don't know how my mental would recover from a sudden monkey attack in the dark like that. This came 4 days after another man was attacked nearby, only this man was actually bitten by a monkey. Whether it's the same one or the monkeys in general are just getting riled up remains unknown, but police have warned residents in the area to remain cautious. Number 6. On January 23rd at 6:40 in the evening, police at the Atsushio Kano police station in Fukushima Prefecture got a rather alarming phone call. There's a bear in my living room. The call came from a 60-year-old man who lived alone and got quite the shock when he returned home for the day. He reportedly got home only 20 minutes earlier, went inside and, to his great horror, found a bear just chilling under his kotatsu heated table. Naturally, the man left the bear to his warm seating arrangements and rushed to his neighbours. They called the local hunting club, who then relayed information to the police while awaiting instructions on what to do next. The man returned home at 8 p.m. and the bear was still there, stuffing its face with all his food like a relative you can't get rid of fast enough at Christmas time. Around 11:30 the next morning, police and hunters from the local club set off fireworks in an attempt to scare the bear out of the house. It worked, but it then ran into a small cabin nearby. Then, at 3:15 that afternoon, a local vet showed up and was able to hit the bear with a tranq dart. As it slept, they then moved it back to the mountains and away from people. Because the bear was just shy of a meter tall, they figured it was still a child who was unable to find somewhere to hibernate for the winter. No word on whether the bear had to pay for the food and board it enjoyed, but for now it has been safely returned to the mountains and nobody was harmed. Number 7. Imagine you're driving down the road when suddenly it just straight up falls apart in front of you and swallows you whole. That's what happened to an unlucky truck driver on January 28th as he was driving down a highway in Yashio City, Saitama Prefecture. The man was left sitting in his truck in this 5 by 10 meter hole in the middle of the road, as the soft earth and running water made it difficult for emergency services to pull him out, as he became trapped in the driver's seat. After one attempt to pull the truck out failed, they then issued a warning for around 200 nearby houses for fears that underground gas pipes might be damaged as well. But to make matters worse, the following day, yet another cave-in happened only a meter or so away, and authorities fear that damaged sewer pipes may be the cause for the earth under the road to have shifted and created these cavities under the ground. They have also requested that over 1 million residents across various nearby towns currently refrain from using water for fears the sewer pipes will break and send raw sewage spewing out everywhere. As of making this video, this unfortunate incident is still ongoing. Number 8. On January 27th, a 55-year-old civil servant in Matsuyama City, Ehime Prefecture, was fired from his job for constantly leaving work to go to the gym. The man was a part of the urban planning division, but it was reported that starting April 2021, the man had left work 633 times to go to a gym in the city. This wasn't during his break time or anything. It was during work hours, and amounted to around 658 hours of lost work time while he was hitting the gym. As you might expect, the city wasn't especially happy that one of their workers had basically conned them of 1,760,000 yen in free wages while they were exercising and hitting the sauna. And when they finally realized what was going on and confronted him, he admitted to everything. My arms started to feel numb, so I went to the gym to stretch and use the hot springs. But I regret that I went too often, he reportedly said. Indeed, just a little too often indeed. Number 9. Now, you might be a bad driver, I don't know, but are you 8 different accidents in half an hour type of bad? Because that's exactly what police are accusing one woman of in Suita City, Osaka Prefecture. The police claim that on January 19th, from 7 a.m. to 7:35 a.m., a 47-year-old unemployed woman from the city went on, well, a bit of a driving spree. Of the incidents police could confirm, at 7 a.m. she reportedly hit a car being driven by a 46-year-old man. 6 minutes later, she hit another car being driven by a 49-year-old man. 2 minutes after that, hit another car being driven by a 60-year-old woman. At 7:10, she hit a 33-year-old man on a bike, causing him light injuries. And then 3 minutes after that, she hit a 49-year-old woman riding a moped. But after all that destruction, she still wasn't done. And at 7:21 a.m., she hit a 57-year-old man, injuring his leg. And then 8 minutes after that, she hit an 82-year-old man, injuring his right leg. And then to top it all off, at 7:35 a.m., she drove into a wall. The woman was arrested and questioned and tested, but police didn't find any traces of alcohol or other substances. And when asked about what happened, she reportedly gave various statements such as, "I would never drive dangerously," and "I wasn't even driving." So, this case is still ongoing. Number 10. Finally this month, a 35-year-old unemployed man from Ichinomiya City in Aichi Prefecture was arrested for robbing a convenience store. What caught people's attention, however, wasn't merely the fact that he robbed the store, but that he went back right after and claimed to know nothing of any sort of robbery. According to police, the man reportedly stole 2 items from a family mart on December 31st. When a 23-year-old staff member tried to stop him, he shoved the younger man, causing injury to the staff member's index finger. But then, on January 3rd, just a few days later, the same man rocked up to the convenience store like nothing had ever happened. Staff immediately called the police, the man was arrested, and during questioning he reportedly said, "I have absolutely no memory of any of this." Considering that he walked in there like nothing had happened, this might actually be true, but, of course, that doesn't mean he doesn't have to pay for his crime. And that's just some of the weird, bizarre, terrifying, and also kind of funny news that came out of Japan last month. But what about you guys? Hear of anything odd or terrifying, weird or funny? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.